Hey kitties, what up, what up? Welcome to Primal Scream. This is your host, Nick Graystone. For the next hour, we're going to talk about fantasy, reality, and everything in between. Let's go.
What up, kitties? What up? I am Nick Graystone, and this is another episode of Primal Scream. I hope everyone is doing well. I'm doing well. Cheers to you. And this is water, I assure you. So, these last couple of days have been hot. At least it kind of like cooled off. You know, right now it's a dry 85, which is said no one ever, especially with swamp ass. So, hope everyone is beating the heat, beating your meat in the heat, or whatever the hell you got to do to get through it, and we'll make it through. Because, you know, eventually we'll be all crying that it's too cold out. So enjoy the last dog days of summer because, you know, summer's almost over anyway, right? I'm not being the cynical prick because it really is almost over because it's almost August. But enjoy. Again, you know, I'll shut the fuck up. So, So we got lots to talk about. We have a cool guest coming on pretty soon. So let me get to it. Man, the Grim Reaper, and as Nana Lucia used to say, Repero. Oof, that boy was working OT this week. Heavy, bad deaths this week in the entertainment industry. I'm going to start off with today's news of Bob Newhart passing, 94 years old. He had a great run. Comic legend, you know. I never really was a fan, but I do respect him. I never really watched the show, but it was shocking to see that he did pass away. So 94, so rest in peace, Mr. Newhart. Moving right along, Richard Simmons last week, 76 years old, sweating to the oldies. This guy, like, I don't know. I always respected him because he was just like the life of the party, it looked like. You know, he just so energetic and just like always like, you know, a smile on his face and always happy. And he was doing it for the cause, man. You know, he was just trying to make everyone, I guess, healthier and happy. And he made his mark, you know, and he did what he had to do. And I give respect to Richard Simmons. I actually met him years ago in the airport with my parents, and I forget where we were going or whatever. I think we were going to a Raiders game in L.A., and I just remember he's like, all those bad choices with food. Well, I hope you guys make a decision, as he's talking to three obese people getting ready to go on a plane to L.A. to eat our faces off at a Raider game. I appreciate it, Richard Simmons. Obviously, I didn't take your advice. But rest in peace, good sir. Dr. Ruth, 94 years old. Another pioneer in a different field, though. She was a sex therapist. And really, she also made it okay to talk about sex in public when it was like a taboo subject. So another one that just like, found her mark, made a career out of it, and, bless her. 94 is a good run. Shelley Duvall, 74 years old. This one stung. I got to work with Shelley last year. I was on set for... Now that it's her final role, it's the Forest Hills. I was able to go to her house and spend the day with her, and got to laugh with her, and she was very sweet. Obviously, she was in a lot of pain and discomfort and everything, and again, a hell of a lot of respect for this woman. She was put through the ringer. She had a hell of a career. She was mistreated in Hollywood, and she took a step back, and she never gave up, and she came back and she did this. She's great in the movie. I can't wait for it to come out. It's coming out soon. It's in October. We actually just signed a distribution deal, which is going to have a Blu-ray option, and also we're going to have a small theatrical run. And I'm very proud of the movie, and I'm just proud to say that I worked with an icon as she was and forever will be. So rest in peace, sweet Shelley, and thank you for being so sweet and kind to me. Another one that stung this week, Shannon Daughtery, 53 years old. She fought a hell of a fight. She was one of my first crushes back in the day. I have these two ridiculous pictures. The first one I want to show, I'm dressed up as the lunch lady. So I walk into the room, and right off the bat, she starts laughing. And I go up to her, and I was just like, Shannon, you don't understand. You were my first crush. I've been crushing on you since Our House. And she's just laughing. She's like, I can't take anything you're saying right now seriously because of like the way you're dressed. But she's like, but I could tell underneath all that, there's a really handsome guy in there. So she's like, come here. And she hugged me. We took the picture. And so the next day, she had the photo op with the rest of the 90210 cast. And I ended up, when I was walking out, I actually brought a picture of Anthony because Anthony is a diehard fan and he wasn't there, and I wanted him to be part of the picture. So I held that up. But when I was walking out, I said, Shannon, I love you. And she looked at me, and I was like, it's the lunch lady from yesterday. And without missing a beat, she looks at both Tori and Jenny Garth, and she's like, see, girls, I told you he was handsome. Whether she was telling the truth or not, she stroked my ego for that 33 seconds or whatever. And it was just such a cool thing. And, she, you know what? She was a badass back in the day. She stuck up for herself. She got a bad rap, but you know what? She was awesome. She was very sweet to me when I met her, and I always remember that memory. And, I love that show, Beverly Hills 90210. I grew up with it. Like I said, Our House. I loved her in Mallrats and Heathers. And it's cool that I get to introduce Zoe to these things now because I showed her after that. I was showing her some Beverly Hills 90210 stuff, and she just watched Mallrats and Heathers with me. So, again, I admired Shannon for coming out and meeting her fans in her darkest hours because, she was fighting breast cancer for 10 years. And just fuck cancer, It's just a terrible disease. And my heart goes out to her family. And she just had a lot of courage and strength, and I appreciated her. So, all right. Now, I do have two movies that I saw last week, and they were pretty awesome. The first one I'm going to talk about is Longlegs. Longlegs is directed by Oz Perkins, which is the son of the horror icon Anthony Perkins. So which makes it basically he's the son of Master Bates. But I have to tell you that it is a slow burn, but once it gets to where it has to be and it tells you what is going on, whoa. Nicolas Cage, one of the best roles I've ever seen him play. He emulates like a lot, like leading into it. I don't want to like ruin anything, but leading into it, they say there's a lot of Silence of the Lambs like influence in it, and it does have that. But Nick Cage, he emulates Tiny Tim, and Tiny Tim, man, like to me, as much as he was like little, or whatever. I always thought he was creepy as fuck, man. And just put Nicolas Cage. He has like it just looks weird in the movie, and he just looks like Tiny Tim, the voice and everything. And yeah, one of his best roles. And Makia Monroe, at first, I'm like, I've seen this girl somewhere, and I'm not sure what it was, but she was in It Follows. And It Follows, that movie was, I want you to go see it if you haven't seen it. It's a movie that it needs the soundtrack. It drives the movie. It's a slow movie, and it's a pretty creepy thing, and she was really good in this movie, so highly recommend go see Longlegs. It's definitely awesome. The next movie I saw was Maxine. That's the conclusion to the Ty West trilogy following X and Pearl. This was set in the 80s era of Hollywood. Maya Goth was amazing. Kevin Bacon was fantastic. It's like not really much a horror. It's got horror elements, but it's more like a LA like crime noir story. So there's an opening sizzle reel that is just basically everything that I'm into. It's like true crime, the satanic panic, the PMRC, and the most metal fucking moment that I've ever seen in my life. Dee Snider versus the Senate. I just got to talk about that. You know, we do have a metal band coming on, and
He's waiting, by the way.
is he? Okay, cool. I'm going to get to him in a second. Dee Snider going against the Senate back in the day, like, I think that they were trying to embarrass him. Like, I read up on it a little bit, and they wanted Vince Neil. Now, I feel if Vince Neil would have went up there, Vince Neil is a different character than Dee Snider. Like, I feel like Vince Neil would have just been like, yeah, man, you know, we write about fucking crazy shit, and that's it. Yeah, whatever. Dee Snider is just articulate, well-spoken, doesn't look like he is. Like, he looks like, you know, this big fucking hairy monster that doesn't have any brain cells, but he went up there and fucking handed them their ass. And I always love seeing those clips, and it was such a great thing to see in the beginning of this movie. So I was already jacked up before the movie even started by seeing this little sizzle thing in there. So yeah, Maxine, definitely go check it out. Dee Snider, thank you. You slapping the shit out of the PMRC that day, and it was excellent. Right before I get to our guest, I just have to recap. This last week was also the 1-year anniversary of when I became a meme. It was the Rex Human arrest, and yeah, so far this year he's been charged with 6 crimes. They're saying there's a possibility of a 7th coming up, and it's still not over. They're still investigating, and we'll see what's going to happen once it gets to trial. But what a crazy year it's been for that, and just thinking that it's been a year since then. Time just waits for no man, you know? And I'm looking forward to seeing what that case will bring. Now, if I just want to get into one thing before I get our guest, because he is waiting in the wings right now, Gypsy Rose Blanchard is pregnant. And I just want to say it again. I understand the girl was abused, but something inside of me is just not liking this, because while she's getting celebrated by having a new child, a new husband, she's getting the book deal, she's getting a TV show, she's getting pampered, that poor bastard Nicholas Godejohn is sitting in prison rotting with no chance of parole. And I feel like if this girl is living her best life, this kid should be given a second chance. So with that being said, Gypsy, I don't want to induct you into the Fuck You Hall of Fame. I really don't. I really, really don't. But please, just like pipe it down a little bit, please. I understand you're excited and you want to get on with your life and everything, but like, I don't know. You're annoying me, Gypsy. That's all I have to say. I'm sorry what happened. I really am. Your mother had no right to do what she did, but Godejohn does not deserve the rest of his life rotting in a jail cell because you gave him the nookie. That's all I have to say. All right. let's get our guest on. Spooky from the band Spellgrinder.
Yo.
I want to get him on this show. I wanted him on here for a while. He actually reached out to me, but our Zoom shit wasn't working. Spooky, are you there?
I'm here, my man. Thank you for having me.
Hell yeah, man. How you doing, brother?
I'm stoked. I'm stoked out of my mind. How about you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm great. Now that I got you on here, finally. Yeah, man. I love watching. I know you've reached out to me and you've said you love watching like my posts and stuff, but equally as well, I respect your posts and I enjoy what you're doing. The music and everything, I'm totally digging it. Yeah, man. How is it on the left coast right now?
It sounds good, man.
Yeah.
Good with the whiskey bootleg.
Oh,
Sounds really good, man. Like, big fans of you over here, have been for a long time, ever since the World Without End Black Donut Sam Hain compilation.
oh yeah, dude, that was dope, man. You guys did what was that? All murder, all guts, no fun.
That's it. Yeah, we came into the project late, and all the best bangers were kind of taken. Not
Yeah.
that there's bad songs in the catalog, but like there's some like high watermarks, and man, I was just happy to be able to hang, and I chose something I thought would be easy.
Yeah, you know what? Those songs, like, as much as it's only like, one or two chords or whatever, it's some of them are just the way that he sings and stuff, man. It's just like some of it's not easy because of like the melodics that he did. I mean, I guess more in the Misfits that it's a little bit more difficult, and definitely Danzig, but I feel like Sam Hain is definitely in our wheelhouse as well. And you know what? I don't even remember how we got apart on that disc. I just remember Meds just going through a whole Sam Hain phase, and he got me all psyched up, and he's like, yeah, man, he's like, they have this like cover compilation, and I think we should do November Fire. And I'm like, all right, dude, fuck it, let's do it. Let's give it a shout,
What's a killer version? Like I got reached out to just because I tagged Sam Hain in my posts on social media.
Okay.
Just trying to cross market, trying to be smart.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think I had like one single out. It was like 2021. I had one single out, and maybe two. And Maury Strauss reached out, and I think maybe they had someone drop out, and they needed something in like 2 weeks. So I was like, yeah, I can do that. And then I just ran straight to my studio, it's just a bedroom with the walls painted black, nothing cool, but like just started busting ass, and like I wanted to just be the best. And I was so upset when I got the album and you guys were the best. That really bummed me out.
No, dude. I honestly think our version is kind of like lackluster, dude. Like, I feel like we try to record it in the vein of Sam Hain and just didn't put the production into it and stuff. And it sounds weird, but I appreciate it, man. Like, I feel like you smoke us on that record.
I tried to, so it's like it's forced, like I tried to make it, and I like that in the reviews it says Spellgrinder is slick and sleazy.
Yeah.
It's like,
Dude,
fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. That's a great compliment.
Yeah, like I love that, but like it was designed to just be a little bit too much because I knew it was going to be an underground punk compilation, and I knew the roster that was going to be on it, kind of.
Yeah.
So really, I designed my track to just be like too much, a lot of harmonized solos. It's too much, but like I was disappointed when you and like there's a couple other bands that kind of like ate my fucking lunch. Damn. I'm gonna leave some people out, but Bovine Nightmares, I thought they did a great job.
Oh yeah, they're crazy, those dudes. I love them.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of other people did a great job, but you know, we did okay. We did okay, and that was like way early Spellgrinder. That's when we were first like getting around. So, like from the beginning of this band, I have been, inspired by your moves. You do great stuff, my man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, you know what? Like the networking, like you were saying, man, it's all about making your next move and doing smart things. And I feel like Meds guides us that way. Now, like how he set up that underground thing and the just networking and try to get everyone's stuff heard. But yeah, man, I like the community that we found like in Twitter land, man. Like before it became X and kind of weird right now because it's totally not what it used to be. Twitter, but
Yeah,
it still has its its thing. But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
just so what's the history of like how did you guys start out?
We started out really as just me wanting to have a band that was like Spellgrinder, me wanting to build it in a way that it can last, because I've had bands come and go. And sometimes when bands are communal property, you just fucking like you throw the baby out with the bathwater, it's just like, well, fuck this shit, and
Yeah,
and it's sad. And really, like, I have such a graveyard of work in my past, and I wanted to separate myself from that, start fresh, and do something that was totally fucking awesome. Is cussing okay? Cussing's okay, yeah.
please.
I wanted to do something that was just so fucking rad. And Spellgrinder, a horror theme. It's in the genre of heavy metal, but I'm a punk rocker. I'm a glammy dude. I'm a scumbag. And I'm drawn to scummy, like, non-desirable things that are sexy and curated and, like dangerous. I like that shit. So like I wanted to make a band that was just like rad, had fucking brick house songs and like had a cool image and really like hopefully members would stay for the long haul and we have some, longevity and do a lot of work. But if members come and go, the band goes on, and it's a good formula for us. We've had some long-term members. We have like the spinal tap drummer syndrome,
So did we.
But hey, we got a new drummer right now. I'm getting him like rehearsed up so we can start playing some fucking shows. But in the meantime, throwing music videos out into the void and letting them do the work.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Yeah, like you know what? Like I can totally see where you're coming from. That our first drummer for Demon Scar, we played our first gig, and then we got offered to open up for Quiet Riot. And he turns around. I'm like, dude, we're getting offered to open for Quiet Riot. And he's like, oh, I'm thinking about leaving this project. I'm not into it. And we're like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Like,
yeah.
We're going to do a big gig. At least play the gig with us. Nah, you know what? I want to do my other band. I'm like, all right, man.
Infuriating.
Yeah, it was fucked up, man. So, like, he left. And then our second drummer came in and he was an old school punk drummer, and it was a different feel for like the songs, but he was cool to be around. So like, well, the style of his playing wasn't exactly 100% what we were looking for. He was a good guy. So like we liked playing with him, but then he got tired of us and gave us the heave-ho. And then Jared came along and we rehearsed twice. We got offered a gig. We jumped on it, and then the world fucking shut down for a year and a half with fucking COVID. So at that point, we're like, oh my God, we're going to lose this guy. And then, like, he was all in, man. And, we're like, what are we going to do? All right, you know what? Let's fucking recording an album while we can't go out and play. And that's what we did.
Yeah.
So, I mean, whatever, if you can't go out and play, at least you have other avenues that you could still put out your songs and stuff and have people still interested in what you're doing.
Yeah, like there's a lot of masters you got to serve. Like really, the art you got to serve art. I think we all like art, right?
Yeah, of course. You need to.
So like art got to be pure, got to be cool. So the fact that there's not a lot of money being thrown at us, built in fucking purity. Now sometimes that kind of chips away at the quality. But you can kind of like compensate and you can make the quality good, but you got some pure fucking shit. And, then I don't know. I can't keep my fucking brain fucking straight right now. It's been a crazy week.
You know what? Like I'm grabbing what you're saying right now because I feel like you have to have a good song because you can't polish a turd. So if you put out a good song and where the quality of it recording-wise might not be up to snuff, someone's going to hear it and be like, wow, these guys are fucking good. Maybe if it got polished up a little bit, it might be even fucking better. And then that's where you're testing. Then you're starting to do it, you're doing it all yourself. Like Meds... If you put Meds' stuff where he recorded us back in 2017 up until now, it's a totally different sound. But, like, you evolve, and, like, I feel like recording nowadays, we have so much we could at our hands right now, and it's at a low cost if you could do it. It's a lot of time that it takes.
Yeah. Well, some people are awesome at it. Some people are okay, but there's a certain charm to okay. There's a certain charm to awesome. It's just basically like how good are you at expressing whatever you're expressing,
Right. Yeah, man. Fuck yeah. Dude, Kiss made a fucking career out of it.
Yeah. Then all right, you got a good concept, you got a good look, you got a good song, you got a good recording of it. Now your ass has to go out and
do it.
Meet up with peers and an audience, and basically don't think that they're the same fucking thing, because your peers ain't your audience.
No.
Your friends, they love your shit. They ain't gonna buy your album as much as your audience buys your albums. They're different, like back in my cool days, you were just too cool to promote your shit, and so it's just like, go put out, you tell your friends, and your friends are like, that's cool. But like really, your friends are your competition too. So they're not buying your fucking shit.
Yeah, some of your fucking friends turn into your biggest competition, man. And some of them, they get disinterested fucking so fast. Like, I remember some of my best friends like, no, dude, I'm not buying another fucking ticket for a show. All you do is call us up to fucking come to your shows. That's all you care about. And you know what? They were right. I was that guy for a little bit. And then I'm like, all right, so I got to hang out with you other than fucking you coming to my gig. I get it.
You got to, because the venue makes you have to be that guy. You don't get to like fake on a built-in audience. If they're going to book you, it's like, how many beers are you going to sell, fool?
Right.
How many people are you going to bring? So like,
yeah, that's right. The factory fucking gigs, man. You got to like, they pump them in and pump them out, man. Like, holy shit, dude. When we played the Whiskey, man, like that was fucking like 5 bands, I think, or 6 bands, and it was that's
a small night there.
I know, because they put like, I've been seeing like recently there's like they're starting the shows at like 6 o'clock at night now, right?
Oh fuck! I played there a million times, because I was a Sunset Strip dirtbag, like that's what I did. Lived there, played those venues, and like I played there a million fucking times. Never paid to play, I'm happy to say. I always like got on a booking because they needed someone, or I was a hired gun in a band that was paying to play there. And I did like one of those like night by the pounds there playing lead guitar for like no, not, just guitar in an Australian gal band.
Okay.
And we were opening up for the Bullet Boys, but there was like 37 other fucking bands, and then they started playing at like 2 p.m. and like Bullet Boys fucking sound check for like 3 hours, and it was just like it was wild. I was hanging out with Michelangelo Badio because they wouldn't let him backstage. You know Michelangelo Badio?
I
He's
don't.
the guy that plays the guitar with like 4 necks. He's like,
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. They wouldn't let him backstage?
Yeah, well, because I was in a band that we were supposed to do a NAMM jam where we'd come out and we would play like Tush with him. So, some fucking ZZ Top song, I can't remember it right now, but we were supposed to play a ZZ Top song with him. And so we would like all meet at like Cascade Studios and practice and basically, yeah, we're playing what
That's Tush.
Yeah, it's Tush.
we're playing fucking ZZ Top.
LaGrange?
Spreading gnar over it. And I'm happy to be there. I'm getting paid, but I do have tastes, and that went against a couple of my tastes. And but he was a really nice dude, and yeah, he was like hanging out there, and he's like, "Hey, what? Can you get me backstage? They won't let me back." I was like, "Yeah, cool." So we went backstage, and we were just hanging out. It was fucking crazy. Like everything he says, I don't understand because I don't have fucking chops. Like I can kind of peel on guitar, but I'm not like one of those technical fucking learned dudes, Like I'm biting the hole in my lip. I'm trying my hardest. I'm doing okay. Like that guy's like, "Oh yeah, so I was playing in my Loxodorian," and he's like, "Is that diminished fucking seventh?" And I was like, "No," it's just like, okay. Yeah, fucking crazy thing. Yeah, Whiskey, wild place. That 6 bands in a night is not that much. Usually they put more, and the whole audience is bands that are playing that night.
Yeah. You know what? That was the night that we played, man. Like, we all supported each other. We had no idea who each other were. We were all there for the same thing, and it was weird. Like, we were all bands from, like, out of state. Like, oh, yeah, we've always wanted to play here. And it was, all right, well, you know what? We'll all fucking hang out and support each other. And it was a good night, man. Like, it was a dream come true for me, man. Like, I've always wanted to play there, dude.
But also, you got good video out of it, like...
Oh, yeah, dude.
Video is good. I like the treatment you did where there's, like, fire on everything now.
Yeah, that's... Meds is going off with that shit right now with the fire filter. But I think it looks cool, man, yeah.
Oh, it's great, and it's evergreen stuff, It just goes out into the universe, and it makes you look pro and fun, and it's awesome. It's exhausting to promote your stuff on social fucking media. It's unnatural. Like back in the 90s, you're supposed to be cool and mysterious, and that comes with like not talking that much and then having like someone else like hype you up. Like you need to have like a fucking Flavor Flav.
Yeah, man.
You don't
Absolutely.
do it yourself. You got the Cold Lamper up there just talking about how fucking awesome you are,
Right.
And now you got to do it yourself. It's less cool, but
you know what, dude? Like back in the day, it was like we had Metal Edge and we had Circus and Hit Parader, and we'd read all those things and be like, there was no fucking like. Now it's like, oh yeah, I'm taking a shit and I'm fucking tweeting right now about it, and I got a gig fucking later on, and I'm doing this like up to date, like every fucking thing I do. Like I'm a whore on social media, dude, and I have to be, I feel. Like I have to constantly put shit out. That's why I do,
You're prolific, man. Like you're doing it right. And like everything that you're doing is engaging and it's cool. And it feeds into the other projects you're doing and all the movie stuff and just the conventions and the projects. It's very professional, my man. And this podcast, very professional.
Yeah, I mean, like the podcast thing, like this came about, like everyone always said, oh, you should try it out. But I knew that, like, yeah, I got no problem speaking and doing that. But production-wise, there's no way that I'd be able to do it like this. So I was like, I got invited to come to do a podcast here, and I saw my man behind the curtain over here, Tony. He does a great job, and I'm like, you know what? Meds can help me out with some of my. There it is, the thumbs up.
I can't even reach.
You can't. All
I
right,
tried.
that's all right, man.
Yo.
No.
Yeah, Tony's a good guy, man. He helps me out a lot with all my imagery and stuff, and the production. We have a fucking ball when we're in here laughing and stuff, and it's a good time, man. So.
Yep. We've got the Electro Voice RE20 right there, the greatest microphone.
Oh yeah, I like this, man. It looks cool too.
That's the vocal microphone for both of our albums. Both of our albums, like, complete. The vocal microphone is that, and I broke it.
Oh shit.
So yeah, just I'm tasteless. Everyone go out and buy Planet of the Vampires, the greatest horror metal album ever to come out of 29 Palms, California.
Well,
And-
speaking of which, we're gonna play a song from that right now.
Oh shit.
Yes, we have. You gave us to play, I believe. I wrote it down here, and I'm a dickhead. Holy shit! I wrote it on the fucking wrong thing. What the fuck did you?
I think I may have given you two. I think one of them was
Was a
Playing
video.
with
You
the
gave me a
Devil.
video, but then you gave me an MP3.
Yeah, Playing with the Devil.
That's it.
I
Playing
was
with
like,
the
this
devil.
fool likes Motley Crue. I'm gonna fucking lay Playing with the Devil on him.
That's perfect, and I love the tune, man. It's fucking awesome. I just
Thank
didn't.
you.
I just fucking brain farted, and I forgot the name of it.
It's
But
all right, man. We fart.
humans fart, man.
We fart, dude.
Well, this is Spell Grinder and Playing with the Devil. So here we go.
Alright!
man, that was awesome. I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. So that was Playing with the Devil, and I hear that crew influence in there, and I also hear some like Alice Cooper delivery on those vocals, dude.
It's weird that so that's just the way God made me.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing. Like when I was making the first album, I just wanted it to be metal, and specifically, I wanted it to kind of be Danzig meets Pantera. I wanted to have like that kind of like that punch and razor sharp edge of Pantera, the grooviness, but like the dark bluesy sexiness of Danzig, and then give it a horror theme. And like, really, that was it. Now people heard that and they're like, it sounds like fucking Alice Cooper. And I was like, what? And it sounds like Wasp. It sounds like Rat. It's just like, what? And they're not wrong, but it's not what I was trying to do. It's just that like I'm a rock and roller. Like, my DNA is like, it is punk rock and roll, blues, fucking, I fucking love Oasis. I love Elvis Costello. I love so much shit so fucking much that like you can't talk about it because it's confusing for people.
No,
But
I hear it, man. That's the same thing with me, dude.
Yeah, I wanted to make Spellgrinder heavy metal, and so like I'm like singing nasty because I don't want people to say, "Oh, it sounds like fucking John Lennon singing metal," or like. And so I'm trying to sing kind of nasty, and I got a ripped up voice, lifetime of just being gnarly, but like it comes out fucking Alice Cooper, and Alice Cooper and I, we listen to the same fucking records, but also I was raised on fucking Alice Cooper, like every year that I would like have a last day of school when I was growing up living with my mom before she kicked me out of the house. She'd pick me up from school, bumping schools out, like, and it was just like, hell yeah, like, best fucking day of the year is the last day of school, man. I fucking hated school. But yeah, like, that's the first album. With the second album, I'm just like, you know what? It's not fucking Metallica fans that are loving Spellgrinder. It's these other people, and so why fight it? So with the new album, I'm leaning more into my glam roots. It's heavy metal, but it's it's got the Undercover T-Rex, Bowie, Sweet. It's got some Sex Pistols. It's got some Guns N' Roses. It's got it's got things that make me me. I'm playing on gear that's more natural to me. It's still pretty fucking high gain, but not as high gain.
Yeah.
I'm playing on Wizards and not Randall, so
all right.
It's a different zone, but the Alice Cooper stuff, like, why fight it? Like,
it's in your DNA, like you said, brother. You were brought up on it, man.
Yeah, but like Spellgrinder really lives, like, even though like the era that I listen to the most is like 18. The era that Spellgrinder sounds like is fucking hungry for love, but we don't want pizza. We sound like Poison. Like we don't sound like the era that I actually listen to. We're a little more like heavy metal, and and that goes into our fucking power ballads, like when we have like this fucking keyboard sound that hasn't been used since like 91. Like,
I love that.
No one's touched it.
Yeah, I've been trying to get the boys to do some power ballads, man, but the Scar, they shy away from that. So like we have our own type of ballads that we do, but I'm a sucker for ballads, dude. I love fucking, there's nothing like some of those big fucking heavy hitters back in the day. Like the other day, I was listening to Trickster, and I was listening to Surrender, and fuck, dude, that still hits, man. That's a good fucking record, that whole album. But Surrender, man, that was a good fucking ballad. I love that.
Remember that commercial? It used to come on during like Howard Stern, like twice a fucking break. And it has these assholes skydiving. It's just, they
Monster
taught you
ballads.
how to love, you know?
This
Monster
burning
ballads.
heart of
Yeah.
mine. Yeah, like Vandenberg.
And yeah, that shit was so fucking mondo. Like, and yeah, it scared us off of it because I think that was happening when we were coming into it. And we're like, not us.
Yeah.
But like, uh, I really like to be very challenging to anyone who's unfortunate enough to be around me. And Spellgrinder's lovely audience, they sometimes get challenged. And you know, there's no way to say like, but do you really love me? Like dumping your heavy metal audience a fucking like power ballad and just being like, what's up? You still love me?
Right, exactly, man, you know?
Like, still to this day, we have not fucking touched an acoustic guitar. I'll say that right now. But, you know, we have fucked around with keyboard.
All right, so maybe the third record, you never know.
Third record, yeah.
You know what, dude? There's one thing that you know, man. I don't have to tell you. You can never say never, dude, because you never know what the fuck the next song that you get inspired by, and you go through that or whatever, and who knows, man? You know?
Oh, you're absolutely right. But I love that about albums. Albums just, you know, just go and shit albums out, but you can give every album like its own flavor, its own like set of rules. And
Sure.
there is a definite progression from our first album to our second album. Our second album is like our first album, but it's different. You couldn't mix and match the songs. It just not so much. I think they're complete statements, you know. And actually, like with Planet of the Vampires, it's got 8 songs on it, so we're not fucking around anymore. We just, you know, all killer, no filler, just
I love that.
playing that shit.
Hell yeah. So what is like the writing process? Like you just get inspired by something you see, like in movie, because I see the horror element in there, and you talk about that, or like what's the whole
Yeah,
take us through that.
I have like a million different ways that I'll write because I go through different moods and phases or proximity that I have to like a guitar or whatever. Like I can't just have one way I create because if I do that, I'll just have a hard stop sometimes. And I try to constantly be doing stuff. So a major challenge I was given by a mentor, a friend, current guitar player for fucking Foreigner, my man Luis. He said like, how many songs are you writing a day? And I'm like, I don't know. Like sometimes 2, sometimes 0. He's like, you need to write 4 songs a day.
Whoa.
And I was just like, well, like how much? Like songs and music? Like what the fuck you talking? And he's just like, dude, just like whatever you're doing, you need to turn it up. And the more you do it, the better you're going to get. The more crap you have, the more good stuff you're going to have. Just keep on doing it. And it got to me, and I was like, all right, motherfucker. So, you know, I wake up at like 4 or 5 every day because I'm fucking insane. And I drink coffee and I watch horror movies and I play fucking video games depending on what mood I'm in. And you know, I listen to records while I'm playing the video games. While I'm watching the movies, like I'll be watching just some crap sci-fi movie or, you know, just something to just challenge myself. And with a few of the songs on the album, those are like Planet of the Vampires is a movie, you know. You can go watch we just had the music video Planet of the Vampires that has footage from the movie Planet of the Vampires. So
That's
like,
cool, man.
you know, I mean, it's public domain, so fuck, you know, like it's an awesome movie. I mean, it's not awesome, but it's enjoyable. It's high production value for a guy who like, I have a good music video I'm making right now, but I've been a moody fucking dude. Releasing an album is a lot of balancing, and I got moody during the course of that, and I didn't feel like making a video. So like, Planet of the Vampires, go check out that video. You can't tell that I was just like fucking up, and then like I recorded all the footage of Nephthys and I just one day in my house. Because because I am a dude that has two fog machines. Like, what kind of dude are you, Like, dude, I'm a 3 fog machine guy, you piece of shit. Like, and yeah, like, get fog machines. Fog machines make everything you do look fucking pro.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Smoke and mirrors, dude. You gotta fucking put that
I'm
stuff
getting
out
older,
there.
man. The foggier it can get, like I want to get like that like 25-year-old fog, just like soft focus. It looks like somewhere in time. It's just fucking beautiful.
It looks like a cloud.
Yeah.
Like you're walking on fucking like heaven.
Yeah, that's what you guys want your heavy metal to look like, right? You
Yeah,
want it
of
fucking
course.
soft focus. You want it airbrushed. You don't want no fucking like dude long of tooth like.
Nah,
It's
bullshit. We played a gig once where we had a fog machine. And I cranked it up because I work in a haunted house during October, and I'm like, don't worry, I'll handle it. And I fucking set off the fire alarm because I was cranking
Yes.
it too much, dude. But it looked cool as fuck.
That's cool. Total party foul. But yeah, like
Like
it
live
was.
wire video, dude. Like Motley Crue's fucking fog machine in that is fucking killer, dude.
Yeah, it adds a lot of class. Like for our first show we ever played, it was outdoors and it was windy. And I had my fog machines there, and they're all like, I have my pedal board, and then I have the little stompers for the fog machines. Everything's all queued up. And I didn't share them with the other bands because fuck other bands.
No, because you're gonna make them look good then.
Yeah, I don't want them to look as cool as me. Like,
Nah, man.
I don't want them to suck, but like,
Bring your own shit.
yeah, this is our fucking shit. So like, I was hoarding the fog. I was fog hoarding. I was gatekeeping the fog, and then we
Fog
started
hoarding.
playing, and I gas up the fog, and the wind's blowing behind us, and all the fog just goes away, and I'm just like fuck, and just performance level, just power through it. But I was so bummed out about the fog.
Damn wind.
Yeah, and then we played a gig at like a tattoo parlor. I was doing that, but like the tattoo artists are like, "Yo, dude, like, cool it on that." Like I can't spell. So,
That
that's-
goes into my like. What's the weirdest fucking like gig you've ever played?
the weirdest gig I've ever played. All right, I'll tell you what. I got a zillion stories because I am seasoned. I used to play like 5 to 6 days a night, 5 hours a night for 10, 15 years. Like that was my life. I got some fucking stories, my man. Here's a fun one. So I used to play in this biker band, and I would drive out. This is when I was in my 20s, and I was experimenting with LSD. And I was house sitting for a guy, and in Joshua Tree, and this gig was in Palm Springs. We had it every Sunday, right at the Handlebar, or no, it was the Roadhouse. You show up to the Roadhouse, and so I thought it was a good idea to take acid. And so I get there, I'm in the car, I take some acid. And I get into the venue with my gear, and I look on stage, and that's not the gear of the band I play in. And I'm really confused. And then the bartender comes up to me, and he says, "Yo, I got a call from Biker Larry, and he said that you're going to be playing with these guys this week. And they know about it." And blah, blah. So everyone knew about everything except for me. I feel like there's holes in the story, but I was on acid, so
So the acid's filling the holes, right?
so I mean, I get in there. Now here's the other thing. Okay, so there was this thing where everyone would like hang bras on the stage. There was like a collection of like 200 bras hanging from the rafters, and everyone that played there would put their hands in like neon paint and stamp them on the walls. And there were these two circles. And the two circles were kind of down here. And I remember one of the guys I was playing with, I was like, yo, I'm, real name. My real name's not Spooky. That was my real name at this time. So, real name. And he's like, what do you think these are? I was like, I think those are tits. He's like, oh, well, yeah, I think they are tits. And anyways, we're playing. Acid is fully come on. I'm jamming fucking Jackson Brown songs with dudes I've never met in my life. And and then like this lady comes up and she kind of had a banging body, but she had like the face of like 90s Tom Petty. and she starts flashing her tits and her cooch. And
into the great wide open.
Yeah, she was free balling. So yeah, that was crazy. And then during the break, like I was coming down, I was going to go get some water because I was feeling weird, She comes up, she's like, yo, I really love the set. I was like, well, thanks for sticking around. And she showed me her boobs again. She goes, those are my boobs on the stage. So it solved the mystery about if those were boobs.
Oh, so they really were. Oh, shit.
Yeah, and hey, the gig continued to get gnarlier, but like, I'm married and I don't talk about certain things. And so
like,
you
can't.
It was a wild night, like that was your 20s, 20s were crazy.
We're lucky to be here, my man. That's all.
Lucky. Like, here's the deal, like I didn't drive on the acid.
No, you floated.
I waited.
Right.
And then so yeah, like, but I wouldn't do that now, kids. Okay?
No, you can't.
No. I was wrong,
Drive, like Spicoli says, driving on lewds doesn't work. What does he say? People on lewds should not drive.
Yeah.
Well, people on acid definitely shouldn't drive.
I've finally come to terms with being okay with I will never do lewds because they were just before my time.
Yeah.
I would have like burnouts from before my time, try to explain what lewds were like. They'd be like, listen, like smoke this, then go in the hot tub, then jump in the pool. That's what lewds was like, man. It's like, okay.
That's all right.
And so I would try it and be like, yeah, it doesn't seem that cool.
Right. It was a different era. So, a dream gig. Obviously, Spellgrind is on it. What are your other bands?
Fuck.
Even though you said fuck other bands. Spellgrinder 3 times.
Fuck other bands because like they got to take care of themselves,
Right, right.
Spellgrinder's like fucking Jesus. We help those who help themselves.
Exactly.
Other bands are just dead weight, like got to go through it to get to it. But no, like, there are some awesome bands I would like to play. Like some bands would just stomp us. Like I would want to play opening for the Misfits, but it's just like, would a Misfits fan like not fucking spit at Spellgrinder? I don't know. Like maybe I would want us to open up for like fucking like Lizzie Borden.
All right.
That's a hungry, engaged audience. They go and they're like, fuck yeah, Spellgrinder's speaking to me. They're doing it,
That would be fucking cool, man. That's a good fucking gig.
I would love if like White Zombie got back together. I'd love to open for White Zombie.
Dude, like, what are they doing? They should, man. I mean, because like I just saw Rob, and he got Riggs back into the band, Miggs or whatever. And obviously that hole right now with John 5 not being there, they should just go back to fucking reuniting with White Zombie, dude, and just they could be huge. It could be a huge fucking reunion, I think.
Yeah, it would be Mondo. I'd be fucking there. Like,
yeah, fuck yeah, man.
If they just got a couple people, then they got like Zach Wilde and fucking, like, give me like a fucking half White Zombie, call it White Zombie, rock like White Zombie. I'm there. Like,
yeah, man, absolutely. Yeah.
I think that like really it's hard being in a band. It's hard working collaborative with people. It's
Yeah.
hard doing slightly more work than other people, but they want to get paid evenly so that they can be emotionally invested in the project. It eventually becomes a pain in the ass. You're like, why don't I just put like fucking like techno butt fuck drums over some fucking like samples and like just
Because
start
that's just
playing?
one less fucking personality that you got to
But
deal
I'm not
with.
like paying other people and it's not dependent on other people. And sometimes that's the way to go, you know?
Look
Like,
at fucking Rat, dude. Rat doesn't want to fucking get back together because Stephen Piercy is making enough money on his own rather than to fucking cart around fucking Blotzer, fucking DeMartini, who obviously don't give a fuck, and Juan Crucier, like, he went with him already. So it's kind of like, like, fuck it, man. He's like doing his own thing, man. He's better
those
off.
guys can't get out of their own way.
That's it.
They're all miserable cusses. Like, I fucking love Rat.
Me too.
Rat's a band that I wasn't into growing up. And actually, it kept on getting suggested that Spellgrinder sounded like Rat. And I was like, what? I didn't listen to Rat, you know? I was a punk rocker. I didn't make it to Rat. I didn't make it there. And so I remember being at Psycho Las Vegas, a heavy metal festival, like, you know, going down and just watching hours and hours and hours of brutal shit. And I remember like waking up one morning, my wife was still passed out, and I put on my headphones and I just started listening to Out of the Cellar. And I'm like, this is fucking dope. This is fucking like Van Halen guitars, awesome riffs, great fucking songs. Stephen Piercy's voice is fucking dangerous. Like, he sings so dangerous. Like, it's not pretty, it's mean. He just sounds mean.
It's sleazy.
Yeah, and I left Psycho Las Vegas. I mean, I was happy I saw Merciful Fate and
man.
you know, I saw Suicidal again, and
those dudes. He's a ball of energy, right, Mike Muir?
Oh my
Fuck,
god,
dude! Like he can't ever like age, dude. Like he's up there, 60 years old, still moving like he's 20.
Oh, it's exhausting.
All right, dude. Yeah. Like I get anxious watching him.
Yeah, it's exhausting, and he's like 100 years older than the rest of his band.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's running fucking circles around them.
Yeah. It's awesome. Like that's that fucking East LA fucking like energy.
Fuck yeah, dude. You know what? He was a gang guy, so he's probably been running his whole fucking life, dude, and he's not stopping.
That shit's so cool. I love that. You know, I remember hearing them on the radio as a kid, just going, "What the fuck is this?"
That's a dangerous fucking band, dude. They're a gang. They're a gang. I love ST, man. They're fucking awesome.
Yeah, like everyone, and not everyone, but I'm a Southern Californian, and we all kind of have like that half wannabe gangbanger in us or more, you know, like like I wear a lot of flannels, button only at the top, you know, I wore a lot of Dickies, you know, a lot of fucking Nike Cortezes that I've gone through, my man. Like,
yeah, I hear you, man. Well, you see my fucking side project, dude. I'm doing fucking trap and hip hop, man. So I got my fucking gangbanging shit going too.
Yeah, I can't let anyone hear the hip hop because, like, it's fun for us to make, and I got Nepvis rapping on it, and she will not let anyone hear it. But she's in the pocket. She's doing great.
I want to, dude, talk her into letting me hear it, dude, because I'd love to hear it. Because
one day, you know what, there is some undercover rap on the new album. Like, I will say that. Like,
that's cool.
Our song "Sin Eater."
Okay.
Believe it or not, in my mind, that's white rap. It's not really, but like it like you can see the way I'm spitting out the lines and the way that like in like a Beastie Boys way, I'll like call out the last line in a stanza, like, you know, boom, 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 you know, and it's very rhythmic. In my mind,
that's right.
I'm rapping in that song. And also that's the song that I broke my fucking microphone on. And so you'll hear like a couple lines in that song where it's just like it sounds like fucking like Scott Weiland megaphone kind of shit. It's because I broke the microphone. It broke the diaphragm, and it didn't have any more bass in it. And it's like, you know what?
Fuck it, leave it.
Sounds fucking cool.
Yeah,
Fuck it. The
man.
Beastie Boys would have done that. So we left that shit in, you know?
That's
and
cool.
you know, that's that art rap. That Beastie Boys art rap.
Beasties were sick, man. They were fucking something to see, man. Definitely. I miss those guys. And I
Yeah.
miss Weiland, dude. Weiland, when, for me, in the last fucking 25 years, one of the best frontman ever.
Yeah, he's my dude. I love that guy.
Yeah, anything he really did, man. You know, I love the STP stuff. I love Velvet Revolver. You know, the solo stuff was cool too. It was experimental, but the weirdest thing I've ever seen him do, me and my brother went to go see him do Christmas songs. And dude, he comes out and he's dressed like Bing Crosby, bro. Yeah, and he's foot tapping or whatever. And then the last 3 songs, he did big band versions of fucking like Big Empty and yeah, I forget what the other two.
And he's like crooning them.
Dude, he was crooning and he had such a good voice. If you want to hear something sick about his voice with crooning, look up, it's at the Grammys and they do an all-star jam. It's like with Stevie Wonder, Alicia Keys, and Velvet Revolver backs them and they do Across the Universe and he does a fucking verse. And dude, his voice, bro, you're like, oh my God. It's a beautiful. Yeah. I'm getting chills talking about it, dude.
Yeah, dude, he does a great Barbarella with Cyndi Lauper, like a live Barbarella with Cyndi Lauper.
Oh yeah, I heard that. That was great, man.
Fucking insane.
That's when they did that song too. Fucking Money Changes Everything.
He's so he's a sexy dude.
Yeah,
like,
man.
For me, like core purple, like even Tiny Music.
I love Tiny Music, man.
I wouldn't hit it, but like when you get to like number 4, like he's like rail thin. He's got the cool. He's like wearing like the high-waisted pants, and he's just like. He's fucking beautiful. And he just continued to get more like just fucking beautiful. And you see him in that Cyndi Lauper video. And he's got like leather pants. He's wearing all black. He looks like Clint Eastwood if he was just like fucking like
strung out.
Wanted to fuck more than Clint Eastwood did, you know? Like it's amazing stuff. Yeah, he's the best. Yeah, I listened to Scott Weiland's Christmas album every Christmas.
Yeah, it's great, man.
So like I don't want to take away from what you said, and I suspect that he probably sang better live than he does on the Christmas album, because I know he can sing better than he does on the Christmas album. I hear the Christmas album, I hear some pitchy shit. I know he could do better than that.
Yeah, no, he did it good, man, and he showed up. I think he had a good head on him too, because it was like in between.
Tanked on when they recorded the proper album, because it's loose, it's boozy, and maybe that's like the true nature of the croon, is like you just kind of like sail in and out of notes and like, and I hope you know, he's like binging it hard, but like drunk bing.
No, he was on that night, because the thing with going to see STP, dude, or Weiland or any incarnation of him, you didn't know what you were gonna get, dude. Like one time he showed up dressed up as Hedwig, and he fucking had this skirt on. So now I'm at Roseland in New York, and it was a fucking Halloween show. So the bill was Godsmack, Stained, somebody else, and STP. And me and my friends took mushrooms. So now I'm tripping out. Now Godsmack Voodoo fucked me up, so I kind of like disappeared for a while, and I worked the courage up for enough to get up front for STP. So he comes out dressed as Hedwig, and he's doing his songs, and maybe like 2 or 3 songs into it, I'm like dead center, and he comes up and he sticks his fucking leg onto the monitor, and his fucking cock and balls come out the bottom of his skirt. Night over, dude. I was like, I gotta fucking get in the background, man. I'm like,
Yeah, dude.
it was terrible. It was like a sandworm coming at me. Fuck.
Yeah, that's hard. It takes you out of the moment. But like I remember like seeing Lux Interior's dick like at the Hootenanny in like 1997, 96.
Oof.
Probably 97. And like I'm there with my little sisters. We're in high school. So like, yeah, I think that was the first grown-up dick my sisters ever saw was Lux Interior fucking like he was wearing like full body spangly PJs.
Yeah.
And at one point during the set he cut the pants into shorts, or he tore the pants into shorts, and he tore them too fucking short.
Right.
And he was free balling.
Another one.
Yeah, my fucking sisters got a goddamn anatomy lesson, and I felt like fucking like, don't look, Ethel, like, you know, fucking Ray Stevens fucking my dad was trying to protect my sister's virtue. I was trying to protect my other sister's virtue, and like it was in vain. It was in the vein of Lux Interior's dick. And
now he turned in from Lux Interior to cock exterior.
They left Devore, California women that day. But I did see some big ass titties like in a chain link like mesh shirt. So like I left a man too. You know?
Yeah, man. It worked out for everyone. Yeah. So, dude, you got anything to plug coming up?
Hell yeah. Well, you know what? Like, this thing right here is evergreen. This is Planet of the Vampires. I'll tell you what. We also have another album that's only a year old.
Okay.
Right? This is just our first album. It's self-titled, right? You see, this album actually has a bigger parental advisory label because parents need to be slightly more advised of this motherfucker. Like, the first album has bad words in it. The second album has no bad words in it, yet it's even more advised. And I'll let you figure out why. Like, it's some dark shit. Like, but it's warning you, you know? Like, you know, you should know. It's a pretty wild album. It's got some adult themes in it. You know, it starts off with the sounds of a vampire moaning and slurping blood through a straw.
All right.
And it sounds pretty salacious, but it's not. It's clean fun, and just, you know, Tipper Gore would be bummed out. You know, like if we don't make offensive music, then fucking Dee Snider defended our rights for nothing, and
That's
you guys
right.
are being awesome. So you guys need to go out and you need to rock in a way that bums out Tipper and it makes D happy.
I try to do that every time, man. Fuck Tipper Gore.
Yeah, fuck that bitch. You know what? I bet she had like a solid gold pussy, probably. You know, like,
something, dude. Yeah.
Because, you know, Al had fucking options. That guy was a cocksmith. You could tell that about him. You
Fuck
just
yeah.
look at Al and be like, that guy fucks hard.
There's no way that he was just going home to Tipper, man. He was fucking
He
going
invented
out.
the internet. You know why? Because he needed to see some freaky shit on command. Like, you know,
He's the reason for fucking global warming, man. He was fucking probably getting all that hot pussy across the U.S.
Yeah. Well, you can tell. You can tell that about him. He has that.
Oh,
you know?
man. Amazing. Spooky, I appreciate you coming on tonight, dude. I got some plugging to do myself, but this has been one of my fucking favorite interviews, man. Definitely. We have to do this again, man.
I'm happy to. Like, hopefully I'll have something very awesome to promote in the near future. If not, we'll just get together and talk some shit, my man.
No, I'm down, dude. Anytime, bro. Absolutely. And you got to talk the missus into letting me hear that rap stuff, dude. I'm into it. I want to hear it.
I'll float you a copy. You know.
It's down low, brother.
It will turn your mind into shit because it's so fucking amazing.
That's all good, dude, because it's already there, man. Maybe you make it like liquid shit.
Yeah, like, oh my God, are white people actually better at rapping? Like, that's
Well, last week Eminem proved it. He released a new album, and it's fucking really good.
Yeah, well, he was the exception to the rule. Now
Yeah.
it would become like a thing. Like it would actually tip the scales.
Yeah, it would.
Like,
It would totally.
we've been
mind.
processing for a long time that he's just like a freak of nature. He's really good.
It's unbelievable, dude.
He's exceeded his racial handicap. But now it would be like a mold that's been broken. It would be scary for the industry.
It sure would be, brother.
We'd have to start really talking about how good Vanilla Ice actually was, which he was fucking awesome.
Yeah, he was, dude. Go Ninja, go, bro.
Yeah. Rap.
Because I love you. Bam, bam, bam. I love you.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, I got some plugging to do. Mr. Beery's has been our sponsor for a while. Yeah, no, you don't mind if you hang out for some of my plugs, right?
I'm here.
All right, cool, brother. Mr. Beery's has been our sponsor for a while. They always have something going on every night. They have Monday Okie with Kevin Mundy. Tuesday is vinyl night, so bring one of your favorite vinyls and they'll throw a side on for you. Wednesday, all summer long, Let It Bleed, the Rolling Stones tribute. Thursday is the best open mic night, sponsored by Murphy's Music. This Friday, Bad Mary, my friends, are having an EP release party, and they're playing with a couple of other of my friends, Jones Crusher, as well as Bending Over and Hopeless Romantic. And on Saturday, the Andy Glasser tribute, Too Many Voices, Action Park, Death Reborn, and Dark Ride. And also, I just heard that Saturday, October 12th at Mr. Beery's, HorrorCon is making its return. That's going to be awesome. We'll fill you in with those dates and information coming up, but the date is there, October 12th. Next week on July 30th, Meds, his solo project, Unhealed, is releasing The Cudgel. I do believe I have some art for that. Yes, there it is. I am actually playing a gig coming up solo. It is Lethal Weekend in Manchester, New Hampshire at the Jewel Music Venue. That's going to be August 30th through September 1st. Friday night's Cottonmouth Kings and First Jason. Saturday is going to be Ron Killings, a.k.a. R-Truth from WWE. Yeah, right, dude? He's doing his rap stuff. Pretty cool. And Sunday, I'm playing with Fury, Lex the Hex, and a bunch of others. I told you about The Forest Hills is coming out in October. And right now, I'd like to show you the new trailer for Sweetmeats. This is coming out in, we have a special screening coming up in September. But without further ado, here is the trailer for Sweetmeats.
You're almost 40 fucking years old.
Meet Bobby Sweet. All he's ever wanted to do is write and perform country music.
As you know, I would like to become a country music star.
But one thing has always stood in his way.
You got the stage fright.
Meet Laddie.
She's pretty, she's smart, business savvy, a bit intense and kind of rude and angry a lot of the time.
No shit.
And then meet Jerry.
He's a fucking moron.
They're serving up something more than
Burgers and fries!
Burgers and fries!
burgers and fries. So come on down to Sweetmeats and get yourself a treat.
What we served that food critic was human. We served him man-meat.
Exactly. So, what you're saying is we need to find more people to grind up.
My God.
Devil is a woman I know. The devil is a woman I know. The devil is a woman I know. For the good Lord told me so. For the good Lord told me so. For the good Lord told me so. For the good Lord told me so.
You're almost.
All right, so that's Sweetmeats. That's coming out sometime in October, but we're having a big news coming up on that pretty soon. But Demon Scar's on the soundtrack, and we get totally fucking killed in the movie. It's pretty cool, man. So that's directed by Ricky Glore. Again, I want to thank Spooky for coming out and hanging and shooting the shit with me. Thank you, my man. And I just want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. And again, this is Primal Scream. I'm Nick Graystone, and you're not. Later. Thank you for listening to Primal Scream. I'm Nick Graystone, a.k.a. The Nizza. Each week, Primal Scream is produced by Tony Walker and executive produced by Demon Scar. Always remember, nobody writes your story but you. Later.